Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I just want to talk about how I thought leaving a job to get a new position would be a solution to all my financial liabilities, but I couldn't be more wrong. So as I mentioned in my previous video, in late 2015, October to be exact, I moved to a new company. So things were not as rosy in my company that I started in 2009. So I then looked out for new opportunities, started interviews with agencies and so forth, and I finally found a place where I thought, okay, this will be a good place for me to grow. It's a good opportunity. So when we started, so the core function of that company was investment. So they were more of an investment company. So as part of our induction, we were advised that we shouldn't cash out our RAs or preservation funds from our previous companies. Instead, we should move it to a personal preservation or RA fund. But at the back of my mind was, this is a solution to my problem. I am gonna cash out everything. So that's what I thought when I left, so that I can sort out my liabilities. So after that induction, I then reconsidered, and I went on to actually only cash out half of it and put the remaining amount into an RA. So I bought into an RA. So nonetheless, as I mentioned, so whatever I've got, I cashed out. So I mentioned that there was a cell phone contract that I took up for someone, and they never paid me at all. So I closed that off prematurely and paid out a settlement fee on that. I closed off the credit card that I mentioned that I maxed. So how I maxed that credit card was, as part of the liabilities, I might have forgotten to mention, there was a loan that I took out to buy a second-hand car. So I took out a loan so that I could buy the car cash and add on to a loan that I already had. But the car, so I asked someone to help me get a guy. So I thought, guys know better about cars, and he will get me a good car. And I specifically said, please do not get me a Golf, because I am a lady. I don't want to be stuck somewhere on the side of the road. And lo and behold, he got a Golf, and it was trouble from day one. So there were so many things to fix, and that's how I maxed out that credit card, from getting that credit card just to buy t-shirts for Soweto Marathon to maxing it out completely. So with the money that I got, I was like, I need to close this credit card. I just cannot manage a credit card. So I closed off my credit card, and then I also paid off my loan. So the bed and washing machine that I got, I closed it off. I settled that, and then a little bit that was left, I kind of saved in my account for some time. So then as well, I then did some fixes on this car. So I did some fixes, and it was functioning much better, but yeah, it was costly. So I did some fixes with some of the money as well. And just as I had installed tracker as well in the car, guys, the car caught fire. So I had a boyfriend at the time who decided this car, so he used the car as his own after all the fixes, and he was starting the car and it just caught fire. And yeah, imagine, I'm starting a new job, this car is giving me problems, and worst off, now it's like burnt. So it was actually written off, and I got a payout for that. So so it didn't feel like all the money was sorting out any of the problems, because just because that car then caught fire and there was a payout, I now thought, you know what, I really need a new car instead, so that I will not have problems. Because as I mentioned, traveling from the south to Bryanston, from Bryanston to Bedfordview most of the week for school was not going to be viable without a car, unfortunately. So now I had to go back and try and finance a car now for myself, because remember I had financed a car for my parents around 2011. So I then put in, so I had a plan, I have a deposit, I have a plan of how much I want to pay, and I don't want that balloon payment. As I mentioned, it's money that you will have to fork out at the end of paying off a car. So I applied for car financing, and it was declined. Simple reason why it was declined was because there was that car that I got from my parents in my name. So this is now like a problem, because now I really need a car. So I then anyway, I left it off for a bit, and then after some time the dealer mentioned that if the bank settles this car, then you can be able to get a car, and whatever settlement amount that they put in can actually be added into the amount for your car that you are getting. So I was desperate for a car at the time, so I went for it. So what happened was they settled the car, and I was able to get one. So my deposit actually didn't now cover a deposit, it now covered a bit of the settlement amount. So what ended up happening is whatever I had planned to pay on the car was higher. Whatever I had envisioned in terms of not getting that balloon payment added could not happen, because now I didn't have a deposit, essentially. So now I had the car, and it also had balloon payments on it, and it was costing a bit more than I had envisioned. But nonetheless, I think I went on the idea that I really need a car. So this is why I say leaving a new job, it's not a solution to your problems, because if you then start again and having to add on to your liabilities, is it really sorting it? Because now you've added other liabilities, you've closed off others, but you've added other liabilities. So just as a pointer for our debt freedom journey, when you leave a job, do not cash out your preservation or your RA, because then as part of your debt freedom journey, you have to play catch up. Because if you retire, or when you do retire, you do need to still maintain yourself. So once you retire and you have used that amount to pay off whatever debt you've done, it solved the problem for today. But now you've got a problem that you cannot really maintain yourself or the lifestyle that you've built for yourself as you were growing and as you were working. So as part of our debt freedom journey, I'd like to encourage you, if you do leave a job, leave that money. So open up a new preservation or RA where you can leave that money in. You will thank yourself when you retire. As for me, I am playing catch up, because I went and cashed out when I left the job. So it's now as part of a debt freedom journey, and as part of getting that healthy net worth, catch up needs to happen, where sacrifices need to happen, so that RA or that RA can be built up for this lifestyle, whatever lifestyle I'll be building and whatever lifestyle I've built thus far. So if you have already cashed out at any point, try and calculate and see, okay, what are your living expenses? What would you need to cover at the time that retirement comes? And perhaps as part of your debt freedom journey, add to that catch-up amount for your RA, so that we can have that healthy net worth and we can retire comfortably. Because at the end of the day, you need to retire comfortably. You need to still be able to maintain the lifestyle that you've built. So leaving a job is not a solution to your financial problems, please. I was very wrong, because again, the liability started to to increase again. Like I say, I need a car. And perhaps as we journey on, you'll see that the liabilities do increase eventually, so it doesn't solve your problem. So that's it for this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell to get that notification when I post new videos. I hope you've enjoyed it. Bye.